Boom! What's good, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Miss Champagne Evolution Podcast. We have a special guest today, and that's my boy B Wise, aka MAD, strictly from the official Lifers Group, Strictly Streets Entertainment, and now book author. He's my homeboy. Known him since 1994. But we're gonna bring him on. And I got three things going on. I'm the engineer, the host, the graphic artist, everything, but that's what you do when you want stuff. You have to learn how to do it all. You know what I mean? But I could tell you this, it's going to be nice. It's going to be fun. And just for those who don't know, we're airing live on three platforms right now: YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook under Miss Champagne Evolution. Miss Champagne Evolution. Hurry up. I'm giving you time to go get on because we're about to get down. All right. I'm going to bring my friend, my homie, to the stage in a few seconds. Let me put my headsets on so I can groove with y'all. Let me put the head wrap. You got to have the head. Got to have it on. And don't forget to like, share, and comment and follow because we're about to get it in. I'm bringing my boy up right now, and I want y'all to give him a warm welcome. Hey, it's BY.
Yo, Shams, what's
We
good?
here. We finally see each other. What's
That's what's
up?
up. That's what's up. B Wise, aka MAD, that man,
That
that
man,
myth,
the myth,
that legend.
that legend. We
Yes, sir.
finally, we do so much stuff together. We had to continue on. We go from the next to the next. We've been doing this for years. Tell them
Uh-huh.
how we met back in what?
1994,
Right
right?
on.
When I was doing Strictly Streets Records, which I'm still doing Strictly Streets Records, right? But
Mm-hmm.
1994, what you was working as high,
105.9 FM.
yeah,
Yeah.
105, yeah, yeah. You was the first one to break the record on the radio,
That's
Prisoner
right.
Streets.
That's right. You looked at me like you better not be playing with me. I had to come back to Newark, my born town, and you was like about your business from day one. You didn't play.
That's
You
right. That's
still
what's
don't
up.
play.
That's what's up.
For those who don't know Be Wise, give them a little synopsis about you.
Well, I started with the Lifers Group. That's what got me into rapping in the Lifers Group. You know what I mean? Trying to speak to our peers in the language that they understand. So that's how it all started. And then I kind of found out that I was a little bit good at this right here, right? So
Mhm.
people was feeling me. You know what I mean? So then I start writing records, and then start recording like that. There, I start finding other artists that I could relate to, you
Mhm.
know, in the rap culture. I start seeing other rappers that I could relate to. Because in the beginning, I'm not into that bubblegum rap. I'm not into that. You know what I mean? It has to be some reality, with the whole situation. Not
Mhm.
saying that, not saying that to say that they not good, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, at what they do. That's just not what relates to me in my life and what
Mhm.
I was doing at the time and what
Mhm.
I have done in the past. So, what I mean? That's just saying that. That's not saying that they're not good because they were, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, because we have different preference. They have their preference. We have our preference, and that's what life is
Yeah.
about. It's like food. If you don't eat this certain food, you don't eat it. That's just the way it is.
That's
If you
it.
ain't
But
feeling it,
that's,
you ain't feeling it. Hmm.
but that's the difference. That's the difference in the hip hop culture now and versus then, the 90s, the
Hmm.
80s. That's
Hmm.
the difference though. See, now everything sounds the same.
Right.
Everybody talking about the same thing. They making records for strippers. You know what I mean? Just you can't hear this unless you go in the strip club. Then you can hear it, right? See, back then it wasn't like that. You had your G rap. You know what I mean? You
Polo,
had
yeah,
your
G
you had
rap.
your comfort. You had your comfort raps. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? You had your peace and joy and unity and you know what I mean and all that. You had that and all that was good, but that was
Hmm.
you had a choice. You can choose,
Right.
right? Me myself, I was on G time, so that's where I was at.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you feel. I mean, I think you're G time now when you rhyme. What you still got that flow.
Nah, No,
Excuse me.
I can mix it up. I can mix it up now.
Oh,
I'm not as
definitely.
I'm not as intense, if you will. You know
Oh,
what I
you
mean, as I
definitely can
was
mix it up.
back
You
then.
know, you did a
Yeah, I
smooth
can
beat
mix
with
it up.
me, and you were smooth. You were smooth on it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that kind of surprised me too. But
Yeah, you were smooth on it. He was like, nah, champagne. Then I said, gotta smooth it out. And you smoothed it
it
out,
all
and they
came
loved it,
together.
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it all
Well,
came together.
well, we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty. So, you still doing music? You still dropping tracks and songs?
Yes, I'm working both with Strictly Streets, right? With Strictly Streets and with the Lifers Group. Lifers Group official. They're about to drop the new album, coming up. And so we finishing up on the last few singles now with the Lifers Group. And I'm still, like I said, working with, my singles, my songs from Strictly Streets, finishing up on that album, right? That'll be dropping soon. So yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna play a little bit of the video. I probably can't play the audio, but walk us through it. I'm gonna play it and you walk us through it. Let me
Which
see if I
which
can put a.
video is
I'm trying to see what now. I'll let you know when you see it on the screen.
it?
Cause let
Okay.
me see what it is. Cause I got to make sure this volume not up. There you go. I got the volume. Cause they throw you off. Okay. So I'm gonna play without the volume. Okay. Boom.
Oh,
Oh.
that's the real deal. That's Lifers Group. That's the Lifers Group real deal. We shot that in Rawway. We were one of the first groups, if not the first group, to record a whole album in a behind bars in a prison system, right?
What
To the
prison?
extent
Hmm.
Rawway State Prison, which is now East Jersey State Prison, right?
There you
That's
go.
me
Hold
right
on.
there.
Hold
You
on. There
see?
you go. Wait, I
You
gotta
see?
take that
Yeah.
back. Wait, we gotta do that again. Hold on.
Uh, that's
Yeah,
the
I said
young.
there it is.
That's
I
that
gotta see if I
young
can catch it.
That's that
There
young
you go.
Wise. Yeah, I mean, that's that young Wise. See, you see Wise all over the face, right?
That
But I'm
face, the hat, the
incarcerated like a
poofy.
champ. I
Yeah.
got I got chains around my neck. You just don't see them.
What year
I
was
got
this?
that was 1991,
Oh,
90 yeah 91.
in that era. Uh-huh. Look at
Yeah,
you, ladies and gentlemen. This is B Wise right here in
I
Rollway
mean,
Prison at the time.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's
I had
watch it.
20 years. Yeah,
Go Rocky. There go Mel. Go ahead. Explain the video.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the real deal. That's just kicking what's going on inside the prison system, right? From a system or systematic point of view. You know what I mean? Not just so much because it's easy to write about, you know what I mean, oh dudes getting raped, stabbed, and this, that, and the other, in the prison. That happens. You know what I'm saying? But also you gotta look at the hierarchy that put you there. You know what I mean? So called hierarchy that put you there and why you're there and what happens to you individually without all of the drama. I'm talking about when you in a cell with you by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
what happens. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? How you feel, how you deal with that time. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what this is talking about. That's what the real deal is about.
Well, it looks like a very intense. I know the music. Too bad we can't play because they don't play on these platforms about music. I sneak them in it, but they give you email like, all right
Uh-huh.
now. So all right, so we're gonna go to the next slide. Well, hold it. You didn't
So
rhyme
that's
yet. You
Max.
coming up, right?
That's Maxwell Melvin right there.
Uh
Right.
huh.
That was the
Right.
president of the Lifers Group at that time. Behind him is Halim, L, Knowledge Born, that's Merciful. Where you at?
Mm-hmm.
So all of that's Lifers Group, and that's Lifers Group itself right there.
There you
That's me
go.
right there. Yeah.
Spitting rhyme. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take it back. Let's see. You remember some of the rhyme?
I
Let me
don't
see.
remember none of it.
Nah,
I don't remember none of that. That's
yo, get
crazy.
the back,
But
yo. We
you
got to lip
because you
sync
gotta
this.
you gotta understand something too, right? You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? That was literally the beginning days. Like that was when I had like a rhyming dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, like that was literally the beginning. I didn't even know I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I was just talking. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't I didn't know that I could do that, but I was talking about what happened to me and what, you know what I'm saying, what I'm going through. I didn't know like when when they was like, yo, you can rap, I was like, yo, what are you talking about? Like I ain't, you know what I mean? Like I
Hmm.
didn't even know that I could do that at the time. So that was literally the beginning. Like I told you, I ever told you how I got in, right?
Yeah, but they don't know. So. Hmm.
I got in. What initially got me started was my cousin G. That's
Hmm.
original right there. Picard, right?
Hmm.
That's original. My cousin G is right behind him, right next to him, right there. That's my cousin G,
That's
right here,
Amazing
right
G.
here. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's my cousin,
What's up,
right?
Amazing G?
Now he got me in there because Hollywood Basics was doing a talent search, and he was like, "Yo, you need to get on this." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "And do what? Rap?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Nigga, I don't rap, nigga. Y'all rapping about my life. What you talking about? Rap? I
Hmm.
ain't rapping nothing, right?" So he was like, "No, no, it ain't like that. We trying to deliver a message and so on and so forth." So he convinced me to try out with the talent show with Hollywood Basics. So Hollywood Basics came down from California, right? They held the talent show, and I had said some old stuff on, something like, I catch the police walking down the tier. I said something like, I catch the police walking down the tier, I snatch him, throw him off the tier, watch his tears float back up and splash on the tier, something like that, right? So
Hmm.
anyway, they like that. I'm clowning. I'm thinking, this is some bullshit. But they clown. I'm clowning. So they come back and was like, who said this right here? Right? Because they didn't know that was me who said it. They ain't know the voices at that time. So
Hmm.
I said, that's me. They called me. I said, that's me. So they asked, they said, would you be a part of this project? So that's how I got into the part, the Lifers Group project. And it
Hmm.
just took off from there. Cause from there I found like an inner voice,
Hmm.
right? But what it did was it kind of like it allowed me to become someone else and actually talk about the reality of what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what it did.
Well, it looks very inspiring, but break down what Lifers Group mean to the audience for those who don't know. And plus, if you want to see this video in its entirety, just go to YouTube, put in Lifers Group, and you can see all the videos on YouTube. Hmm.
Or the Lifers Group model, first and foremost. The Lifers Group model was, learn at the expense of our sorrows,
Mm.
right? That was the model. Learn at the expense of our sorrows. Because, in order for you to be in the Lifers Group, you had to have life. You had to have
Hmm.
letters. Or you had to have 20 years and better, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
I had 20 years. So I had
Right.
20 years. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I didn't do 20 years, but I
Hmm.
had 20 years, right? So I got out in 10 and a half.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I got out in 10 and a half, but a lot of them was younger, like G, he was younger. L, they was younger. You know what I mean? They was younger than me. And in that, I came from Trenton
Hmm.
State Prison, right? And came to Rawway. So, in that, I was 20.
Hmm.
I was 20. You know what I'm saying? So, I got out when I was 30, you
Hmm.
know, right? So yeah. But their whole thing was learn at the expense of our sorrows. And so our message had to be at the time, trying to deter the youth from making the same mistakes that we made and living the life that we lived and making the bad choices that we made. Because life is about choices. And we live the life we live from the life we choose. Right?
Hmm.
So, so our mission was to try to give back in terms of wisdom from experience, right? So
Hmm.
because you have knowledge, but you don't have wisdom until you actually experience the thing. But the wise man is he who learns from others' experiences. So
Mm.
we was trying to give that, to the people, to the youth, to our peers, because they was our peers then.
Hmm.
Now they're the youth. You see, now we're trying to talk to the youth because we're older now, right?
Mm.
We got children now,
Hmm.
nieces and nephews now that we don't want to go down the wrong path. So now it's the youth. But back then it was our peers. It was like, yo, nigga, look. I'm the same age as you. Like I did this before you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to tell you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So you gotta look at it. You gotta look at a person, uh, you 10 and the other person 5.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time that person is 10, you're 15. I'm already in the prison system.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You see what I'm saying? You 5, I'm 10. By
Uh-huh.
the time you get 10, I'm 15.
Yeah.
Right? I'm already in the prison system, certified
That's
as an
that's
adult.
deep. That's deep. Because that's what is going on today. You see them putting handcuffs on younger and younger, and that's why I said to the parents, they to me, they put the work hours the same time the children need to go to school. You feel me?
Yeah,
They didn't even give you much time to get to work and take them to school, so they could get a hold of your children. Because
yeah,
without supervision, the child mind is a child mind, and if the streets is raising them, you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna make a
yeah.
lot of false, wrong decisions.
Bad choices. Yeah, a
And it
lot of
used to
bad
be the
choices.
village take care of your children, but so many
It
people are
ain't like
strung
that no
out.
more.
No, those days are
It
over.
ain't like that no more.
No,
Yeah.
no, you can't even say nothing to nobody, child. They be want to cap you. You know.
The parents are scared of their children, so they can't parent. Right?
Exactly.
And then what happens is because there's so many one parent homes, right?
Yes.
So many one parent homes that it devastates the society. It devastates us as a society because there's
hmm
so many one parent homes. They don't know or understand what a two parent home is, right? So that the parenting, there's no parenting. The grandmothers is what, 30 years old now?
Grandpa.
35, 40.
Well,
Grandparents.
grandparents, because it takes
Yeah,
two.
grandparents. Yeah,
hmm
grandparent. The grandparent, no, it's grandparent because the man ain't is not there. He's not
Well,
there,
well,
right?
maybe that.
And
Yeah. hmm
he's not there. So what happens is the government becomes the man,
hmm
right? Because you get on welfare, you get on this type of assistance, that type of assistance. You got green cards and all this other stuff, right? CPT, APT, whatever them cards is called, whatever, right? But you got all that, so they're taking care of, the women. They don't allow a man in the house, so they'll take away their assistance, right? So
Like the
now,
movie Claudine.
yeah,
The movie Claudine.
yeah,
That's exactly what
yeah,
they did with James
back in
Earl
the day,
Jones. hmm
yeah.
He couldn't go in
So
the house if he sold. They was going to take her off welfare, and they had to live on his check. hmm
yeah, and which his check ain't can't cover like 4 or 5 kids, and you know what I mean, and all that. You know what I mean. So they make it so hard, and then they wonder why crime goes up because
hmm
your back is against the wall, and it's like I gotta eat. I mean, my
hmm
ribs is touching. I'm
Yeah.
hungry. I gotta eat, and I got kids to feed. So now I gotta sacrifice and take that chance to do whatever's necessary for me to do in order to feed my family. And a lot of times that that decision is against you 99.9% of the time. It
hmm
helps you for a minute, for a second, y'all doing good. But then after that second is over, it's a wrap.
hmm
It's a
Well,
wrap.
so with that being said, so do you think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards the sports or the entertainment or want to be a rapper? Is that some of the reason to have a place to vent or a place
Well,
to be happy? To
in
probably
in
make some
in,
money.
in rap, I believe so. In sports, that's something different. You come up, the schools got they sports programs.
hmm
Basketball, football, baseball, whatever, soccer now. You know what I mean? Eh, Lacrosse now. All that, right? That wasn't back in the day. That was unheard of. But
hmm
you know, yeah. But rap, yeah, rap because rap it's an outlet, right? It's an outlet. It's an outlet for the frustration, for the anger. You know what I mean? For all the negative things that you experience and see. You know, rap gives you that. Rap
hmm
gives you an opportunity to say what you want to say,
hmm
right? Say what you want to say and say it with your chest. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? So rap does that for you. And at the same time, because they want to perpetuate the negativity from the rap, right? They give you an audience for it. They give you a platform for it, and they'll put a machine behind you. If you really talking about something like stop the killing, put the guns down. You know what I mean? And all that. Oh, they're blocking. They're blocking.
You know that's what they do. Anytime some truth coming, oh no, they bringing
Yeah,
people together. We got to keep them
yeah.
separate so we can control their
That's
mind. You
right.
know, to program their mind. You know,
That's
like
right.
tell our visions, telling lies to our vision. That's why when we was loving music real big time. You had your Public Enemies and other groups who was fighting
Yeah,
the power and dropping knowledge, and it was a
yeah,
successful time in hip hop. But
yeah,
once they got a hold of it and started, these different people from different countries started getting jobs at the label. They told you if you want to be part of our label, you need to say gutter rap.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They wouldn't give
And
you a
so
deal unless
many,
you're talking gutter. Hmm.
yeah, and so many of us, sell our souls. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like, look at, in light of what you just said, look at one of the biggest songs of Queen Latifah, right?
U
One of the biggest songs of Queen Latifah was Unity.
Unity.
UNITY. You know what I mean? That was one of her biggest songs. Look,
Hmm.
if it was about, if society really was about uplifting society as a whole, then the Lifers Group wouldn't be 50 years without a mention.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because all we do is talk about, what is positive, what is correct, what you shouldn't do, in opposed to what you should do, right?